we're first gonna make the sugar syrup. So for the sugar syrup, I'm going to do 3 cups of water to 2 cups of sugar. Now this is for 500 grams of phyllo, so you can work with that quantity and do how much you like. And that is all for the initial part of the sugar syrup. Now we're gonna leave this to bring to a boil and it's gonna start to thicken and really turn into a syrup. So whilst the sugar syrup is doing its thing, becoming nice and syrupy, we're gonna get on with our baklava. Now this type of baklava requires a sheet, which I'm gonna cut in half. So just place it vertically and cut through the middle. It's really helpful because the way they're folded, they usually have a bit of a line. So you do that to all of your sheets. Now, you're gonna place that vertically as well. And you're gonna bring over some melted butter. I'm going to be making some mini baklavas, hence I cut it in half. So if you want bigger ones, then just leave it as it is. But this is also gonna get folded in half, so I'm only gonna butter one side of the phyllo. And just swipe across. Now to add that little bit more flavor, I'm going to sprinkle in some cinnamon. That's perfect. Now, take the top and just fold it in half. Now the really cool part, but before I do that, I'm gonna make sure that I have a baking tray at the ready. So we'll leave that at the ready. Now you're gonna grab a skewer. So you have your skewer and you're gonna start to wrap around the skewer, just like so. And then when you get near the end, maybe about a finger's worth, you're gonna leave out. And you're just gonna take the sides and you're gonna crunch it up and just squeeze in. And then you take it off the skewer. You're going to make it into like a little circle, just like so. Put it on your baking tray. When it comes to rolling around the skewer, you don't want to pack it too tightly because otherwise when it comes to pushing in the sides, it doesn't really push in well. So allow just a bit of a gap. Nothing too drastic, but you don't want it like really firm and tight. And then when you push in the sides, it just crunches up so much easier. And you just want to always tuck one under so that the two ends come together, and you can push the middle in a bit. You can fiddle around with it till it looks pretty. And you just carry on like that. Look how adorable they look. So cute. Now, these are gonna get prepped up to go in the oven. And for that, we're just gonna brush them off with some more of that butter. Now, because these are almost like open baklava, you can add the nuts in and then put them in the oven, but I prefer to put them in for a bit, for half of the time, then to add the nuts and then to put them back in the oven. This way you don't get any nuts that burn too much, but you still get that nice roasted flavor, but that's really down to your preference. So these are gonna go in the oven for approximately 30 to 45 minutes. So halfway through, we'll take them out and then we'll top them. So now we've got the baklava in the oven. We're going to prepare a nice crunchy filling. And this filling is going to contain 3 types of nuts. We've got some walnuts, some pistachios, and some almonds. Now we're gonna blitz these down, but we're not gonna make them super fine. Because these are almost like open baklavas, I want to blitz the nuts, but not completely ground as you would in maybe a closed baklava. I want you to be able to see the different nuts and to have that really good crunch. So I'm not gonna leave them whole, but I just want them blitzed a bit. But also, for some extra bit of flavor, I'm going to add some cinnamon to it. This is optional, but I love cinnamon. I'm gonna add around a teaspoon. Just depends how much you like. And we'll just blitz those up. I find the best way to do this is to just pulse it, like you press it on, press it off, and then you'll get the right consistency. Now they're almost there, but just to create that final bit of binding, I'm going to add some honey. And get a spoon or something and just mix them about. Just want to mix it up because the ones on the side, they get blended the most, and the ones in the middle, not so much. And that final pulse. And that is perfect. Honestly, you can really smell the cinnamon here. And that is now going to be ready to fill your baklava. So I'll just transfer it here. Delicious. So as you can see, now our syrup has thickened and has turned into an actual syrup. Now, whilst it's still hot, I'm going to add some lemon to it. Now, I'm going to peel the lemon. I'm just going to add in the zest. I'm going to peel it because then I can just pick out the bits afterwards. And I'm going to squeeze in half of the lemon. And now we let that cool down. So I've taken out my baklava. It's already starting to pick up its color, but they're not fully done. And at this point, I'm going to add in the filling. Now I'm just gonna spoon that on, or you can even use your fingers if you want to be precise. Just fill in the gaps with as much nuts as you like. Because of the honey, it stays firmly together. And that can go back into the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. And would you look at them? Now this is them out the oven after the second time. You can see they look beautiful and the nuts have had a bit of a roast in the oven as well. Now we'll finish it off with our delicious sugar syrup. And you're gonna let these soak up that delicious sugar syrup for about an hour, but it's best to leave overnight. You've seen different ways of presenting and how simple baklava really is. You can do the traditional version, but these ones are just that little bit touch better. I'd like to wish you all an Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak.